This scenario has got me thinking a whole lot. Who would win between the North United States or the South United States, especially here in the present day or 2025? Obviously, everyone's gonna be thinking about the Civil War that took place over 150 years ago, but I think it would be a mistake to just assume the North would easily win again. I mean, so much has changed since then. Like a big one being population density, for example. In this scenario, the South here has Southern California, and California, of course, being the wealthiest state in the Union here. The South in this situation actually has 2.5 out of the 3 largest states. That's Florida, Texas, and then a divided California like we talked about. There's also now a lot of economic power coming from Texas. That's a big one. Then, of course, Florida. New York obviously is still a big powerhouse and includes Chicago as well. But still, in this situation, is it enough really to defeat the South just like they did in the Civil War? So this GIF basically shows 2 colors with equal population. As you can see, when the line goes horizontally through the US, that's essentially what we have for this scenario in the World War Simulator. It's pretty much divided in half population-wise. Of course, a big factor is a lot of Americans live along the East Coast here, especially in that Eastern time zone. Interesting to see where their capitals are placed. This one looks to be northern Texas near Oklahoma. Meanwhile, this capital is maybe in South Dakota, possibly, or Nebraska. Statistically speaking, the northern half has a little bit more territory, but it looks like the southern half would have a little bit more income in this situation. That's going to be interesting. Obviously, they're starting off with the same amount of gold, though. Kind of want to make a prediction on who I think is going to win. My gut says probably still the North, but I don't know. Anything can happen here. Being from Southern California myself, I want to say the South. I'm going to press play and start this off very slowly, so each little second, we're taking 1 month and 1 month and 1 month. Also, I realized that we kind of just said, you know, frick Hawaii and Alaska. They don't matter at all in this situation, I guess. I mean, to be fair, I think the North would take Alaska and the South would take Hawaii, but it's fine. There's not, oh boy, here is the first war. So there won't be any naval conflict, obviously. This is interesting where the first front lines are being drawn. And it actually makes sense in terms of population density. There wouldn't be a whole lot of people fighting out here. Obviously you can see there's a lot of rough terrain. The vast majority of fighting would be happening along the East Coast, just like in the Civil War, and then definitely here in California. This is basically just LA versus San Francisco right now, maybe with some reinforcements the North's getting from Oregon and Washington. Keep in mind, this was the South declaring war on the North. Wow. Civil War 2.0, here we go. So a lot is going to matter on this first war, because there probably will be several wars to follow, but the South needs to pick up more territory. Obviously, the South is losing territorially speaking. Oh boy, did both sides just run out of money? Not necessarily, but soon. Oh, they pieced out. Okay, so the South just somewhat gained a little bit of land, not too much, but as you can see, kind of inching up towards Illinois, Ohio, Indiana. Statistically speaking, the North, they still have the territorial advantage. They did also make, I think, a little bit of gains here in inland California. It's gonna be very difficult for the AIs to fight through all these mountains, obviously the Rockies. Where's Denver at? Let's see who declares the second war. I'm sure there will be a second war. I think there's like a white piece for now, though. Keep in mind, revolts are on, so I'm not sure how that's going to take place. How or even if, but I'm assuming if one of these cores get taken, it could always revolt back to the original side. Again, I'm going to continue at 0.5 speed, going very slowly here. Also, if one side starts to significantly lose, I mean, anything can happen. Combat is basically random here. The side that you're rooting for can come back even if things look really dire. Okay, here we go again. The second conflict. Again, it was the South declaring war on the North. Also forgot to mention terrain is a factor here. And I want to keep a zoomed out view just to see, you know, what parts and what front line is really beginning to move. So obviously you can see this is where they're making the most gains for now. Economically speaking though, the South can fund this war for a lot longer than the North can. The North is also running out of money faster during this conflict. The South really has to rely on that economic advantage. They have to bleed the North out, which they just did. Oh boy, you can see the gains happening. They're really expanding this way. Obviously, that's a terrain factor. The South is beginning to run out of money though, and there they go. Once they run out of money, they got to peace out. Oh boy. Okay, so things are gonna get close. The North really needs to make cash fast. I don't really know how they're gonna do that, or they need to start investing more heavily in their military. Again, making expansions in the, I guess, inland California. They're getting very close to the bay. The South has officially tied in terms of territory with the North. Ooh, there still needs to be work done through the Appalachian Mountains. Very interesting to see where the AI is expanding. Obviously, it is due to terrain, like I talked about. Oh boy, look at the third war. The North's actually winning this time. They're actually pushing down in. Oh, they're regaining a lot of this territory. This is interesting. This is exactly what they needed to do. Making big gains in California as well. Oh, look at that. That was the North declaring war on the South. I think they knew if they waited too long, then the economically the South would just begin to dominate. And actually, funny enough, the South is bleeding money way faster than the North currently. Not really sure how that's going on. How? So they're going to, the South is going to, South's out of money. So the North is going to be able to push in. Ooh, here's the thing. They had to piece out. They didn't take that much. They did not take probably as much as they wanted. They regained some land, but they still need a lot more. They need to continue to get lucky like that. I also want, like, were they making a peace deal for gold? Can you, like, ask for peace but demand a bunch of gold? That would make a difference. Obviously, a big difference. So again, the North now takes back the title. They're not significantly, but they're ahead in terms of area. It's funny, the history here is pretty simple. I mean, I like that this game now has history, but it's not going to be too crazy. I like that we have exact dates though. October 8th, October 3rd. For some reason, they really like fall wars. That probably would be good. You don't want to be fighting in Florida during the hot summers. Here we go, 4th war, and that was the South declaring war on the North. Interestingly, the North actually has pretty good combat efficiency. They're at 6, which is max in this game. That's what the North really has to focus on, although they did just run out of money. But so did the South. The South will piece, so they didn't regain all that land that they lost, but they got close. Or maybe they did pretty much regain all of it. They began this, so they're taking certain cores away. That was actually the first though, so yeah, they're not really getting like super valuable pixels. Okay, the North declaring war on the South, so they must see something. They've got to feel something here. Oh man, that front line is not moving at all. Maybe slightly in the North's favor. Oh man, why did you declare that war? All right, area now goes in the side of the South. Look at this weird jaggedy border gore that's caused here because of the mountains. That's going to be good for the North. It's going to be easier to fight in those mountains. The thing is, the North can use a stronghold. They have like more rough terrain on their side with the Rockies here. The North again declaring the war against the South. Yes, the North is just fighting overall better, but they can't keep these wars funded. That's the issue. Yeah, so they peace out once they run out of money. The North's doing the right thing. They're just overall fighting better, which is what they have to do because the South, they got all the money. All these green dots making all the money, all the cash. I kind of wish, I think this scenario was built for just balance, but I wish these cities were actually in like accurate locations, like, you know, LA and places in Florida, obviously the Texas Triangle, because the North put a dent back in the South's lead in terms of area. Yeah, again, combat efficiency, they're at 6. I mean, it doesn't get any better. So they're regaining, wow, they're regaining a lot of land, in fact. Oh my goodness, but they have the money. Okay, they pieced out. You got to keep doing that because of the economic advantage. They also have to, they're kind of forced to continue to declare wars because the South is getting so much income. Okay, they got their city back, but they got to start taking cities away from the South. That's the issue. But this is not easy terrain to fight in. That's the problem. Where's the closest city the South can lose? They got to get deep into that territory. Whereas the North, all their cities are up for the taking. The North keeps declaring wars because they have the combat efficiency advantage. They just definitely don't have the economical one. Ooh, this one's a lot more of a stalemate, this war. Oh, the South declared that war. Oh yeah, they're taking that stuff back. Oh, they're taking that stuff back, and that was all, the North had money. They just ran out. Well, they now just ran out. They were just losing the war even when they had money. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, this is not good for the North. There's still a chance to come back. Okay, so they did just take a bunch of cities, but revolts are possible, and that mechanic can obviously devastate the South here. I think that's what the North is going to have to pray for, and then they just need to really they just need to fight better. They had so much population taken. The thing is, did the South take too many cities at once? Here's the next war, and the South declared that war. They're going to be able to move their capital. Oh, they are knocking on the doorsteps of that capital. Now the South has ran out of money, so they gained some of the land back, but it was really not enough. They still didn't get many of their cities back, or if any. Look at this weird stronghold back behind enemy lines. They're encircled. There's actually a lot of weird encirclements going on. Talk about border gore. Again, area is not everything, but I still find it fascinating to look at. Here we go. North declaring another war. They have these things encircled. They're actually not, well, encirclements are actually not that good in this game. You kind of want some of your territories to be encircled and away from everything else. It's kind of more of an advantage for the AI. It's very strange how that works. The South is moving very, very slowly up, even though the North has lost money. Oh, that is what I was talking about. So there was, in fact, a revolt. This is going to be really hard for the South. The North does not want to be a part of the South, clearly. What is this weird revolt, though? That's strange. This is essentially Ohio. I think that city would have been in Ohio, but obviously they have more than just Ohio territory. That might get crushed pretty easily. I mean, I don't know how they're going to... The thing is, if the North starts to... Wait, why would the North ally to the... Why would you do that? Okay, the North hates Ohio so much that they're willing to get killed by the South just to take out Ohio. That's clearly what's happening here. All right, well, let's see if the South can take back Ohio. The North is not at... Oh my goodness. Are they that... Oh my gosh, the North is feeding the South money. That is how much they despise this state. This state is actually winning territory. Oh, they're gonna run out of money. Oh boy. Well, that's the problem. Okay, the North needs to backstab the South. Why are you giving... Don't give them your money, bro. I mean, dang, I despise Ohio as much as the next guy, but do you really want to take the L? Okay, well, they just took that territory back. It doesn't matter. There's a new war, a new civil revolt. My bad. Okay, well, both places. Okay, so the North and the South do not like these new states popping up. I think that kind of just, I'm not exactly sure why that is. Why would the North despise some of these states? I think they're worried about their own territorial integrity. I wonder, maybe the North thinks they can be on the good side of the South and they just kind of peacefully agree on these borders. I think that's a terrible idea though. Okay, well, we're actually inching forward every month and the alliance is actually still here. Problem is, the longer this goes by, oh look, they're establishing cores. Green dots mean that they're probably not going to revolt. These white dots can still revolt. I think that's how it works. I'm not 100%. Okay, well, here you go. The alliance is over. Let's see if that worked out for you. Now, did you catch up economically? The South had to fight a lot of wars, and they might have spent a lot of money. Yeah, the South was spending a lot of money in those wars, so now you better have high combat efficiency, which clearly you do not. How much longer can you fund this battle? You lost a lot of Michigan. Okay, another war's been declared. They're also taking... Oh, boy, that was just a revolt. Oh, my goodness. Okay, the entire Midwest is just revolted. Did you peace out? You did peace out. Okay, they're going to take a lot of this... Oh, the South's getting all this stuff back. Is the South gonna leave the other ones? Oh, the problem is some of them revolted from the North. Westville was instantly puppeted. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that is again another Ohio. They just gained their freedom momentarily. Oh my goodness. Okay, this state just died, which actually is going to give the North a little bit more territory. This is gonna be a problem. Wisconsin. I think I'm only gonna start naming these guys if they actually win their war. There's no point naming them if they get killed, which that's what I might definitely. It's interesting. Oh wow, look at them expand in the South. They're not expanding at all in the North. That means the North's gonna get a lot of this territory. Bam! They did. They really used that to their advantage. Huge pocket of land the South just lost. Oh, look at Ohio go. Imagine if Ohio wins this scenario. What the heck? Okay, they still have money. Holy crap, Ohio. Please, not you. Ohio is taking their revenge on both sides here. It's all Ohio. It's all Ohio. It's all Ohio. It all has been. Does that even make sense? Okay, so that is a revolt I did not expect to happen, but they're going to lose, I think, anyways. Oh, Ohio, of course, wants to fund more revolts. Oh, this situation's gonna get nuts now. I can kind of feel it. In terms of area, well, we have two newcomers. How is Ohio doing so good? The North now takes back... Oh boy, if they take all of Ohio's land, that's going to change everything. Okay, they pieced out for now. The North now has more territory. Once again, this is crazy. We've earned the right to be renamed here. New Mexico is here. They also started their name. It started with new before too. So Ohio is still allied to this state. How is Ohio fighting so... This is crazy. Oh, the problem is they're going to run out of money. They did just run out of money. The South's going to try to get a lot of this back. Oh, again, the North and the South, they're allying to each other. Going to speed it up here. Okay, so Ohio is pieced out. And again, the North and the South working together to take out Ohio. I don't get this. Ohio just had their own revolt. Someone revolted from Ohio. I like how these straight lines match the weird straight U.S. state borders. Okay, Ohio said, screw that. Oh, the problem is Ohio ran out of money. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Oh my goodness. Is the South just going to take all this back? Well, no, because there's more and more states that continue to revolt. Ohio looks like it's going to get crushed again. Oh my gosh, here they go again. How is Ohio fighting so powerfully? Now there's new states revolting from the old states. New Mexico's having different, I don't even know what these cities are. Bam, there goes Ohio. These guys are now left. This is like Kentucky or something. Again, the South struggling against these revolts, losing a lot of territory to these states. Okay, well they just got, oh, they almost got crushed instantly. I don't even know if I care about spelling this correctly. Looks like they're going to get crushed. Oh yeah, boom, dead. I'm going to do the same thing to these two. This is actually going to be able to economically feed the South a lot more. All right, did you just spend all your money? That's your issue. No, the South has more money. South, once again, has taken back the most territory. Okay, so the North's about to get crushed here. They're probably definitely going to lose their capital. The only thing, again, they have to pray for way bigger revolts. Or maybe not. Maybe the North can just win outright. How the heck is that happening? Okay, well, they pushed them almost completely out of Michigan again. Oh, the South's running out of money. Oh, but so is the North. So interesting to see how the front lines are just really moving this way. I think the South has officially cored a lot of these cities, so that completely changes everything. I mean, there can still be revolts, I think, but it's less likely because we saw one in New Mexico, obviously. Oh boy. All right, they grabbed Michigan. They can't. Okay, well, there is going to be at least one revolt. Old Rock. Okay, that just got destroyed instantly. We got Wisconsin and Michigan. People being puppet. Oh wow. Okay, the North actually just picked up 2 new puppets. That's what they need. They need puppets to just feed them. The problem is your puppets aren't going to feed you everything, and that land just integrated into your own territory is probably just going to be better. Although I think the states get at least, everyone gets, I think, a little bit more of an advantage. Yeah, actually, it probably is better to have a puppet in this game, in this scenario, because they're generating, it just depends, you get to hope that they give you all their cash still, though. Not all, but a good amount. The North puppeted them again, and that's feeding them. Boom, there goes that state, though. Okay, 11,000 gold. Still, the North's still not able to keep up economically with the South, especially if they lose a place like New York City. And if you get kicked out of New England, I mean, that's not over, certainly not, but that's just not good. It's some of the only water territory that you can jump across. I need to know what side Alaska and Hawaii are on. That's the real question. Bam, the South's in the up, and the North's about to completely run out of money, even though they are, I mean, they win battles briefly. The thing is, can the South continue to crush these revolts? Because the revolts are going to be something that happens no matter what. It's actually going to get worse, especially if they start taking all this. So far, the South seems to be doing all right. They lose land, then they take it back. Well, the thing is, can the North... Ooh, this is going to be weird. Are you just going to take all that? Again, these really match U.S. state borders with just the weird straight line. Bam. Look, that. Yeah, that's so strange. Well, you've divided the North into several pockets. They can't reinforce other pockets. North's out of money. If they can crush this enclosure, that would be huge, which I believe they will. The South's problem is they got to watch those revolts. They just took a bunch of new cities. There, I expected that, but they puppeted it pretty instantly. Let's see if they can get all this. Not yet. North is almost out of New England. They're just in New England pretty much. Puppet is fighting for their freedom. I don't know why the North was so quick to ally with the South. I understand they wanted unity, but that wasn't going to happen in this scenario. So where does this capital move to as soon as it's, I mean, they were knocking on the doorsteps. These revolts just aren't big enough, and they're gaining money so fast. Okay, it's finally taken. They had to move the capital back to maybe Montana, is that? Oh no, that's something you definitely want to see. Okay, so the North, oh, you're getting chomped away at. The North has to, they will fight for their freedom at some point. Oh, you don't do that. Do not give them money. And they're getting chomped. They lost New England. They lost the Upper Peninsula. Chomp, chomp. And the problem with the chomps is they don't have to fight in this rough terrain, which was a big advantage the North had, I thought. They gained their freedom, but at what cost? I thought the North would be able to make a comeback, but that is definitely not the case here. What do you think would happen? Let me know in the comment section down below. And here are my patrons.
I finally escaped from Drew's basement.
Lucas, the Canadian Christmas trees.
Drew's Argentinian
North
grandpa.
I'm
Douchebag.
Imperial Japan
Torino
flag is the
is
same as
best
modern
girl.
Japan.
Coil.
Please stop making this mistake.
Amateur
It's archaeology.
A fat normal.
Carmel S.
Connor Pavlik.
The beautiful Megan.
I
Frederick
can't sleep
Tiblin.
without
Inquisitor
Drew.
Zarius.
Bear
Cameron.
Hand.
Mexican
Anthony
76.